The guy won't go down, he's got a chin.
Yo, CBC Boxing. Don't forget to subscribe, yeah? Straight boxing news. Hit up the Instagram, TBC_boxing. Let's go.
So, I've definitely been overcritical of AJ. I mean, yesterday, the guy looked like the complete heavyweight, I'm not going to lie. It's almost like the Steven Gerrard of Liverpool, where, you know, Gerrard can defend, he can attack, he can header, he can shoot, he can pass. You know, he done everything. He showed great combinations, AJ. You know, he was doing things that he showed in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Double and triple uppercuts. He had great footwork, double jabs, lead right hand, moving on the back foot well. Footwork was excellent. You know, doing what is done best in the amateurs. And, you know, salute to Kubrat Pulev, man. Salute to Pulev, because Pulev came there to fight. He came there to fight, and I thought he would pose more of a threat, if I'm being honest with you, with that jab. But he did catch AJ with the jab a few times, but it didn't. It wasn't very effective. I think I had Pulev win 1 round, if that. But AJ pretty much dominated the fight, man. He looked excellent in there. And then, you know, I was thinking to myself, how dare I, you know, give him so much criticism since the Ruiz fight? Because, you know, when I look back at that Ruiz fight, I done a video on that, and initially I even thought there was something wrong with AJ, and it's like I've even completely forgot that something probably did happen behind the scenes, and I forgot how good AJ of a boxer was. You know what I'm saying? But yes, after yesterday's performance, boy, I previously thought that it was going to be easy work for free, but now I'm not as convinced. I'm not going to do a video on that now. I'm going to talk more about the AJ performance against Pulev. But going into the first round of the fight, you know, they was feeling each other out a bit. You know, they was both at range, both a little bit hesitant to, you know, exchange. Obviously, both fighters haven't fought in another 12 months. I think it's been 12 months since AJ fought, fighting for Pulev, so I'm sure they both initially thought there was going to be a little bit of ring rust, but I don't think AJ looked rusty at all. At the end of the fight, AJ was talking about how he felt like he was shaking off some ring rust. I was thinking, my bro, what ring rust are you talking about? Mate, you was looking good. But yeah, that first round, AJ was very, very good with the jab, man. He had some good double jabs with that left hand. He was smart he was boxing very, very smart as well, controlling the distance with his jab. And it was quite similar to in the second round as well. You know, using combinations well, excellent hand speed he showed as well, moving his head well, you know, doing all the basics well, that's what I'm saying. Head movement, you know, using the jab well, couple right hands. You know, is he at range? That's what I'm looking for. You know, is he, as I said before, is he moving his head? How's his hips moving? How's his feet? You know, doing all of that. There's nothing really I could be critical about. Actually, there is, but I'll talk about that a bit later on in the video. And then, you know, we go into round 3. You can see AJ was being a little bit patient in exchanging that right hand, but then AJ landed some excellent uppercuts in that round 3. You know, it's excellent. The whole fight he was landing uppercuts. You know, showing great inside fighting. You know, it's not often that you see big men throwing uppercuts like that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he had the uppercut against Klitschko, and then of course Pulev couldn't handle it, turned his back, and I thought they were actually going to wave the fight off. You know, because he kind of turned his back, so I think AJ caught the back of his head, because as the fight went on, he was bleeding behind the head. Pulev was, but you know, when he turned his back, it kind of reminded me of when O'Hara Davis done it against, is it Josh Taylor, where he turned his back. So I thought they were just going to like wave it off, but Pulev was still in there, man. He was still in there, but you know, props to Pulev for handling it, for still staying in there with him. But as the fight progressed, I think AJ was slowing down a bit. To be fair, I thought that he was looking a little bit tired from the round 4 to about round 7, but he was still using the jab well. I think he's obviously probably learned how to pace himself, because as you remember previously, we've seen you know, AJ, you know, kind of using too much power, using too much energy, and then getting caught out, like against Klitschko. Was it the 4th round that happened? And then he ended up getting sparked out in the 5th. not sparked out and knocked out, but he ended up getting dropped, I should say. And the same thing happened with Ruiz as well. But I did feel like AJ was a bit too keen to look for the knockout, and he was obviously just trying to prove to everyone that he still got that knockout power, and he's still a power horse in the heavyweight division, because against Ruiz, obviously he won on points, and people were kind of saying like, oh, you know, is he still a power horse in the division? Because that's how he kind of came into the pro rankings, you know, laying guys out between round 1 and 4, and then, you know, as his career kind of moved on, he was getting more experience. He kind of became the boxer, the box that we knew him for in the amateurs. So he's shown a bit of both. Dylan White done an interview after, actually, and FLTV, and said that AJ was a little bit confused about what style to use. You know, is he the box on the back foot, or is he the guy that's going to take you out? And you know, he's showing both of them. I don't think he was confused. I just think he's that skilled of a boxer that he can do that in the fight. He can show both styles. If he wants to box with you, he can box with you. If he wants to take you out, he can take you out. I don't think he was a bit confused about what to do, in my opinion. But we also saw a little bit of dirty fighting from AJ and Pulev as well. The referee was a little bit strange in there, man. The referee, there was times where both fighters were getting punches to the back of the head, and the ref wasn't really there to break it up, which was quite strange. I think the ref was Australian. I not like his nationality has anything to do with it, but I think that's just the only thing I really got from the referee. But as you all know, the fight ended in round 9 with once again an excellent uppercut from Anthony Joshua, which I think is the one that floored Pulev. You know, every time Pulev gets hit, he was just smiling, you know, but it's one of them smiles where you're like, like, shit, you got me there. And then, you know, he just ended it with a ferocious right hand, and that was it. Lights up for Pulev. But man, I enjoyed the fight, man. I enjoy most boxing fights anyway. One thing I would say is with Pulev, as I said, I was a bit disappointed in his approach to the fight, but I think that's just because he just couldn't handle AJ's technical ability. AJ was very, very sharp in there. Like I said, he was sharp with the jab. It's funny enough because I said before that he would struggle, and he clearly. I just think AJ would win, but I thought he would struggle, but he didn't struggle to the level that I thought he would in the fight. And he used his jab well. I thought Pulev would be using his jab well, but AJ is the one who has an excellent jab. You know what I'm saying? He used his jab very well, very, very accurate as well. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't just using, he was accurate with all his punches and moving well. Like I said earlier in the video, if there's one criticism I have, is probably just the stamina, where he slows down, because that's where he can get caught out. But I think he's learned how to pace himself a little bit more. And because of Pulev's age, he might have not been able to capitalize in that. But at the end of the fight, they obviously gave props to Rob McCracken and Angel Fernandez. His name keeps popping up a lot more. I think we're going to hear a lot more from him, Angel Fernandez. I had a video on him, and he messaged me on Twitter. So I guess maybe if his name comes about a bit more, I might do a video on that, because I was going to do a video on Angel Fernandez and where he comes from, because he started training O'Hara Davis, and I think it was Isaac Chamberlain he was training as well. He has some pretty good boxers on his books from what I remember. But yeah, overall good fight. Looking forward to seeing AJ's next fight. Is it going to be Fury or is it going to be Usyk? I'm not too sure. I think Fury AJ definitely happens, as I said earlier in the video. I don't think Fury wipes the floor clean with AJ. But yeah, I'll do a video of that when the time comes. CBC, thank you very much. I'm out.